Hey, everybody. Welcome to my little chat today on booths and fairs and vendor events and craft shows and how you can make the most of them. Here's the thing. I have been doing these probably for going on 11 years now, and I definitely know that booths and fairs can either be a very productive and successful way to meet new people and to collect information, or it can be the worst investment of your time and money. Yes, I said time and money. Oftentimes, they cost money to have a table in somebody's event. Oftentimes, you'll have to travel a distance to get to a vendor event. Also, oftentimes, they're not just one day long, they're a couple days long. So, if you want to make sure that you get the most of that investment, then you're going to want to pay attention to what I have to say today. Okay? So here goes. First of all, how do you find vendor events? Well, ask other friends of yours who are in direct sales or multi-level marketing companies that are active in events, and take note of where those events are, find out who the coordinator is, and contact them to keep you in the loop about upcoming events in your area or any area that you want to work in. Find out in Facebook groups on, you can look in your town and then type in vendor events or craft fairs. October, November, December are notorious for craft fairs and vendor events, especially. In the summer, you've got your county fairs and that kind of a thing. So there's always something going on. So make sure that you reach out to people and get contacts if you are interested in developing your business in this way. The next thing, you're going to want to have a decent looking table, okay? It doesn't have to be beautiful and all maxed out, because you're going to find out later there's something even more important than how many decorations you have in your table, okay? Just make sure it looks presentable and professional. You want things lined up nicely, not just flopped over, okay? I've seen many vendor events with the tablecloths crooked and the stuff's laying all over and in some random order, and you want it to look nice. You want it to look inviting, okay? So once you've set up your vendor booth or your area, you want to, this is the number one thing I'm going to say, do not put your flyers with your name on it and your catalogs and your business cards out on the table. I'm just going to tell you this right now, because what this does is it causes people to just grab that information and say, I will contact you. You're going to be standing, not sitting behind your table with a book in your hand, reading your book or looking at your phone. You want to be presentable. You want to be attractive. You want people to be drawn into your booth, okay? And you're going to do that by being friendly, having a smile, but not being too overbearing, because you don't want to scare people away either. This is what I suggest: having a clipboard with a collections sheet. On this sheet, it doesn't have to be fancy. Basically, you're just asking for their name, their phone number, their email address, and if they want over here, what kind of information they want. Because really, all you're doing here is collecting information. You are not trying to sell them on anything at this point. You are just simply trying to get their information. So you might have something like, what do you want to be invited to a wellness party? Do you want more information about income opportunities? Do you want to be invited to a Facebook party? Do you want me to find you on Facebook? How do I find you on Facebook? What is your email address? And that's a little tricky, because there are several different names under that one name that sometimes you have to search through and you can't remember that. So either, if you have time, find them, have them find themselves on Facebook, on your Facebook, and then friend them right away, or make sure you get their phone number so that you're sure to be able to follow up with them. And that's the next thing, your posture. How you present yourselves to these people as you're collecting this information is very, very important. This is a brand new person to you, most likely. So you're going to want to make sure that you hold your posture strong and do something simply like this. Okay, would you like me to send you the recent copy of our catalog with the great information about gut health? What is your name? What is your phone number? What is your address? What is your email address? What's the best way to contact you? Would you like me to also send you some information about Facebook parties, in-home parties, income opportunities? And you go right down the line and say it with such strength and posture. Do not be apologetic about it. This is just what we do. If you're unsure about, well, would you want to give me your address? Would you want to give me? No, 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 no. Because they will buy into that, say, wait, maybe I shouldn't be giving my address and phone number to this person. Okay. So if they don't want to give you that information, that's fine. But you will then, after they give you their information, that's how they're going to get their catalog. So you're investing in them to give them a catalog. The least that they can do is give you their information. So behind the desk, I will have some catalogs. And I will say, you know what? I do have a catalog behind my desk today if you would like to take it home. Otherwise, I sure can mail it to you with your samples or whatever you wanted. And then they will tell you at that time what their preference is. Sometimes they would rather not take anything with them because their hands are already full from shopping, or sometimes they will just rather have you mail it to them because then their minds will be kind of focused when they get that in the mail on what you have to share with them. Also, it's my suggestion that you have some sort of an event. If it's out of your area, find the local library in that area to do a sip and see informational event or ladies night out event. Have something there ready to invite them to about a week later or within that week. Maybe it's the next day. These are people that, because they're at this vendor event, you know that they're people that like to get out and have fun and do stuff. So why wouldn't they want to come and sample the products and learn specific products that would help them with their issues? Which brings me to the next tip. Have a bulletin board or some kind of a board with some common goals that people want in their lives and write them out. Maybe they're increased income or savings account or increased energy or getting to the gym. All these kind of goals you can use as a launching pad to start a conversation about what some of their areas of improvement might be. So for instance, you might say, hey, have you ever heard of Plexus before? And they might say yes or no. And you say, give them a short description of what Plexus is to you. That's a 30 to 60 second description. We're a gut health and happiness product program, and or whatever you want to use, if you want to call it program. We're a gut health and happiness company, and I really love it because we are different than any other supplement company in that we address root issues which often start in the gut. Have you ever heard of gut health and how important it is to overall health? So ask them a question. It doesn't have to be that. You can come up with your own creative ideas. But ask them a question that's going to engage them in a conversation. And then eventually, after hearing what they have to say, you might also ask them, do you see any of these common goals that you would like to have in your life? And people, you're going to be amazed that people don't think about this until they're asked. And you're going to engage them in some really thought-provoking things. And this is going to be all in a matter of a couple minutes because these places will have people coming in. And sometimes you won't be able to get into all the nitty-gritty. But whatever they answer, you're going to write down on your clipboard next to their name. So you have that information, which is going to be valuable for when you follow up. Which brings me to the next point, follow up. The only way you're going to find success with getting these contacts is if you follow up. You have to follow up. And that's why having an event is super important. And if they say, well, I'm just here for the weekend, I live out of town, ask them if they would like to come to a Facebook event. Have something that you can offer them to give them more information and engage them in these products and what they can do. Ask them on here, can I put you in a Facebook information group? And that's Gut Health and Happiness for us. Or Cafe Plexus if you're on my personal team. Okay, so these are some tips that you're really going to want to consider as you reach out to these new people. I mean, you are where the people are. This is what's so exciting, is that these events give you an opportunity to expand your area of influence, expand your area of being in front of the people. And it gives you an opportunity to really meet new people, look for people that you find that you would like to work with. So if you can tell that within a couple minutes of talking sometimes that, wow, this is somebody that I could really get used to working with, and I think she'd be really great at this, or I think she could really benefit from these products. So those are definitely the kinds of people that you want to make sure to get their information. And even not, don't make too strong of prejudgments, because we really never know what people will end up being. They may end up being a customer. They may end up being a successful ambassador. You just never know. Your next diamond might be in that room at that vendor event. You just never know. So those are a few tips. I hope I've covered everything thoroughly. One last tip I will say, that if the event is really slow and dead, I highly encourage you to not pack up and leave. I highly encourage you to go network with the other vendors. Okay, it's a perfect opportunity to meet other people and to engage in conversation, and to maybe even invite them to your events that you have going on. So make sure you take advantage of that, and make sure you don't, most places don't want you to take your products off the table and clear your table before the end of the night or the end of the time frame. So you want to make sure you're really respectful of that coordinator, because chances are, if you're not, they may not ask you to come back. Okay, we always want to carry ourselves as very professional, and we want people to invite us back. Okay, thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you have a great day, and I hope your vendor events turn out amazing.